Good morning and welcome to the first day of the knockout round from the 2019 Women's European Lacrosse Championship. With Steffi Samaras, head coach of the Greek national development team that is here playing in the festival tournament as an undercard, I'm Ralph Bednarczyk bringing you the first game of 6 today. Latvia and the white and maroon out of Group B. They take on Finland. The Finns coming in with a mark of 1-3. The Finns out of Group C. They picked up a victory over Sweden. They're in the blue on blue. It's a hot morning once again in Israel. We have a brief pause as they're going to fix the nets. That's going to need to hold up there for a while. Right in back of Liga Vilka, the veteran goalie that gets the start for Latvia. Goalie originally from the United States and the state of Massachusetts, Jennifer Riley, who has been living in Finland for the last 8 years. She is in goal for the Finns. And the Latvians today hoping to advance. First of 6 today, Spain and Switzerland. We've seen These are two programs, especially with some hard-charging Dodgers, particularly Latvia last time out a couple nights ago, or almost a morning ago, with a game that finished at 12:07 a.m. They defeated Switzerland 9-8 in overtime.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the dodging today specifically from both of these teams. You have high-powered attackers who, as you can look at them, very strong. They like to turn the corner on the elbows and take the one-on-ones. You're going to see Latvia probably do a little bit more feeding than they've done in the first part of the event. That's something that Coach Lazda has added in over the week. And probably the Finnish are going to attempt to do the same with the Latvian defense, especially anchored by Rachel Lazda.
Yeah, the Finns finishing up 1-3. The victory over Sweden opening day 9-4 before losses to Austria 11-10, having their hearts broken by Spain in the final seconds, and then a blowout loss at the hands of the Czech Republic via a shutout. As it is going to be Finland's possession to open things up as we are underway. Head coach Sinikka Ias of Finland. She had played in the World Championship 2013, 2011, European Championships in Amsterdam. It is an entirely domesticated and native Finnish coaching staff, as the Finns here will look to spread the field, and their leading scorer has been the terrific dodging midfielder, or sometimes on attack, Anne Ala-Krakola. And inside, they get a finish from Inka Ulaska. And a good start for the Finns. At 22, she's the youngest on this team.
You know, I think this, for Latvia, was a situation where the majority of the scoring for the Finnish team, I believe, comes from their midfield. And that was just a quick take by one of the Finnish attackers. And I don't know if Latvia was really prepared for that.
Latvia had the day off yesterday, did some sightseeing as well as some game planning. And they went to go see the rooms in Caesarea. I believe that's the way it's pronounced. So, Steffi, have you been there?
I have not.
Gretchen Lazda enjoyed the team bonding that took place within her program. And here come the Latvians with possession and Yeva Opolska. So the goal by Inka Ulaska is her first of the tournament. Esteri Urbanchika, as she approaches, and that will back it out between she and Valeria Druziaka. What a tandem they've been in the midfield for Latvia. A draw and dump. Urbanchika crashes in, and there is that combination. And the Latvians, they're able to get an assisted goal to tie the game.
Yeah, I think Druziaka has really come on strong in the last couple of games for Latvia. And if you notice, they're already going to that two-man game up top. I think they want to draw the attention to the midfield, and I wouldn't be surprised if next time down Latvia goes to their low attackers.
So Urbanchika, that can run all day, and she'll never leave the field, ties it up at one. And Druziaka with the assist. We've seen her so much here. She's so aggressive, Steffi. How do you, perhaps, with someone that is so go-to-goal, as we know, her life motto is go hard or go harder, how do you add assisting maybe to that life philosophy and complement that aggression that she has, because she's so determined to score?
You know, it's interesting. That's amazing. Oof.
That's Laura Liapina. And here, very quickly, Latvia puts a couple of passes together, and they have the lead.
You know, it's interesting about Druziaka because I got to chat with her a little bit when Greece practiced with Latvia, and she is probably one of the most soft-spoken people I've ever spoken to. She loves this sport, and although that is her life motto, she has this amazing lacrosse IQ to know that sometimes she's not going to be able to get the job done. She's going to have to rely on her teammates, and I think that's where you can go from being this hungry goal-to-goal attacker to allowing your teammates to make the finish.
Laura Liapina has been playing lacrosse now for about 6 years, 26 years old. goes back to the World Championship for Latvia in 2013 after growing up being a tennis player. So Liepina puts Latvia in front. They've got the draw control. One significant note today for Latvia, they'll be playing without Yeva Vilka, who is a captain and starting defender. This is Elena Tabura. And back outside for Urbanchika. Lane opening up. Urbanchika could not finish it. Riley somehow kept it out. And Tiina Hanonen, the captain of Finland, looks to scoop the ground ball. And as this one came on side netting, the possession will be with Latvia. When the Latvians look to clear, Yeva Vilka, tall defender who can dodge through players, she will be out today with a knee injury. So that'll put some extra pressure on Liga Vilka and the rest of the defenders to execute clears.
Yeah, I think that could be a negative in Latvia's way, because Vilka as a defender is, again, we've talked about this backbone, these players that are these backbones of these defenses, and she is by far the backbone of the Latvian defense.
Yep, about a 5'10" defender, and also someone that does not leave the field. Agrida Ose, and here for Latvia getting some runs, so that reshuffles the deck a bit for Gretchen Lazda. So Elina Ruperte will get the start today at the low D, and expecting some more communication from Rachel Lazda, Gretchen's younger sister. And they both came up through Central New York, graduating from West Genesee High School. Both went on to play in college, and both have been long-time high school coaches.
And you know, I expect to see some of these types of changes today, especially as we progress into these games that place you. What types of bumps, bruises are some of these teams facing, and how do coaches change their strategy to now, you know, a lot of games yesterday, the outcomes didn't really matter. The outcomes matter today. So strategy is probably going to be different.
Tiina Hanonen, the clear for Finland. And we'll see if Ala Krokola can get some looks. She's got 10 goals to pace the Finns. As everybody will get a touch and a breather here midway through the opening quarter. 2-1 is the score. The winner of this game, by the way, will get the day off on Tuesday. They'll play Tuesday at 1 o'clock. The loser has to come back and play tomorrow at 1. So if it is the Latvians, the schedule would really work out in their way. They'd have 2 days off in a 3-day segment, and that could mean a lot for Yeva Vilka.
Yeah, again, that goes back to strategy, because if you can get your team a day off, and Latvia can get through this game with a win without Vilka, their next match, the likelihood of needing Vilka is probably going to be greater.
Very significant. Yep, Hanonen. Nice pause from Tiina Hanonen to wait, and then draws the foul. Hanonen with 4 goals and an assist. He's had a solid tournament. A midfielder for the Finns. And the shot never got through as Rachel Lazda comes up with a denial. And the ground ball forced forward by Latvia before the recovery here by Ala Krokola. And Ane was shut down in the last game. So really her numbers are skewed. 10 goals in really 3 games. As she makes the turn and misses the shot, she was able to retreat and get away from the defender there, Agrida Ose.
You know, I think the decision to potentially move Rachel Lazda low for Latvia tells me that her Coach Lazda really has some confidence in her attack, and she knows that Rachel can step in and play that position for them defensively, just like she can step in and play an offensive position for Latvia at any time.
Here's Inka Ulaska, free position for Finland, and there's Liga Vilka making the save low. And fires it out ahead. She throws a strike to midfield. A chance to push. Liepina And 1-on-2 with the Finns in position defensively. Liga Vilka has had a strong tournament. Tabora outside. The Latvian goals from Urbanchika and Liapina. Finland getting the first one from Inka Olaska.
And you know, we may see this clear happen more and more today. I think as a lot of coaches watched a few of the teams we played yesterday, that quick clear over the restraint line has opened up a whole nother aspect to some of these offenses.
Liapina, good luck. And another good pass to the crease for Latvia. And something they've been focused on improving. They are showing it here in the first quarter against Finland. However, the Finns, though, following the Liapina shot, they had backup and transition as Anna Pertola had it. Tina Hananen. This is in and out of the stick of Matilda Martin, and out of bounds. Yesterday for the Finns, their captains, including Tina Hananen, got dressed up and attended a president's banquet. The president of the European Lacrosse Foundation, as Stephanie from Canada made the trip. Here is Urbanchika. She is denied by Riley up high, meeting sticks.
Riley's had two amazing saves. The last save that she made, she stepped all the way out to the crease. And then this switch on the restraint line. This is one of the hardest things to do. Now, I think Rachel Lasda knew she had some extra players behind and she was able to go, but this might be something as more teams start to pressure out today because of the significance of these games. You could see more of this switch happen.
Riley again, another high save. First shot of the game for Valeria Druziaka. A feed inside the crease, and that's finished. Well, the Latvians moving the ball quickly here. And that's going to be the first goal for Rebecca Koroyonoka. 3-1.
Yeah, the ball movement is something that the Latvian team has been working on the last half of this week. As we saw in the beginning of the week, they were a serious one-on-one team. And now they've added this whole other layer to their offense with the two-man game and the feed when an attacker is sweeping. And that has been able to open up so much more for them in the offensive end.
Latvia has been in two of the more close games of this tournament, we should note. 10-7 holding off Italy, and then losing 9-7 in a good battle to Norway, and then the only overtime game, defeating Switzerland 9-8. However, they did have a 7-1 third quarter lead, so they made it a little too interesting for Coach Gretchen Lasda's liking, but they pulled away with a win. They got the day off, and Koroyonoka with the third goal. 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Another draw control for the Latvians.
That could be another big factor for one of these two teams, the draw control. And both of these teams like to possess. They're not gonna, I know we've seen very quick goals out of both of these teams, but they are possession teams.
Urbanchika off of her stick. Ilona Markkanen chases. And now Ilona Markkanen has to rechase Urbanchika. Druziaka a bit unsettled with Finland. Druziaka turns the corner, fires, and it's off target.
I think Markkanen is going to have to match the output of Druziaka for Finnish to be able to stay in this game with them. Druziaka's come on strong the last half of this event so far and has started to take over certain aspects for this Latvian team. She's become the communicator on both ends. She's almost quarterbacking both ends as well, which at some point is going to break. Because I don't know if against these larger teams, these more advanced teams, that's something that's going to be able to, you know, we all of these Division A teams, we talk about their quarterback and we talk about their backbone of the defense. Druziaka seems to be a little bit of both right now, and that's not going to be able to work as they progress through. But Markkanen, I think, has to match that output from Druziaka for the Finnish to be able to perform well here.
At the minimum, match the effort that Druziaka plays with, as here is Tina Pananen coming up with the interception. And the Finns to settle things down. Valeria Druziaka, 9 goals. to lead Latvia, including the game-winning goal in overtime. And what a goal it was. It was a goal that you would say that's a player that was determined to take her team home with a win.
Yeah, she put her entire team on her shoulders and drove to cage. And I don't know if a single defender touched her.
And everybody in the building or at the field knew who was eager to take the shot. Markkanen. As Markkanen here to possess inside the final minute as Nencia Kalnina defends. Half minute to go. It is a continuous 15-minute clock in these quarters of the European Lacrosse Championships. Clock only stops on water breaks. Coaches call timeouts and on any whistle inside 30 seconds. There we'll get a stoppage with about 15 seconds to go. Eugenia Matievica, she'll restart things. Matievica scored her first goal against Switzerland 2 nights ago. Elena Sabura picks up the flag. So that stoppage, and it's valuable here if Latvia can know how much time Taboruk will have to shoot. The ball must cross the goal line, rather not be in flight. So there are different countries with different rules on that. Tabora fires, and the shot would have counted.
Do you think Tabora saw her teammate weak side of the cage open, low?
She may not have known exactly how much time there is, if there is enough time for a pass.
That is, I think, where you see teams like England, Wales, Ireland, very aware of their surroundings. They take the extra second, especially on a stopped clock in that situation, to look around and see, and that's just that extra level of lacrosse IQ.
3 different goal scores for the Latvians after Finland scored first. Day 1 of the knockout round, and the first game is at the end of 1, and Latvia leads Finland 3-1.
They've actually, I think, gotten worse.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's always disappointing to see. After a good finish to the first quarter, Latvia leads Finland 3-1. Alla Krokola drawing there against Laura Baltmane, and they'll redo it. Alla Krokola, not much time carrying possession yet, and that will need to change for Finland. And she also leads the team, I would imagine, in shots. And this ball is going to belong to the Finns on the procedure called against Baltmane inside the circle. So the Finns will gladly take this. Well, Finland coach Sinikka Ias, a couple games ago, especially against Spain, felt that their energy was just too down, maybe playing perhaps down to the perceived level of opponents. Well, they got bitten because Spain came back on them. Tiina Hanonen shooting, and this is off cage. And the pickup here from Liga Vilka. And we'll see if the Finns can play with some great energy the rest of this one. Vilka, though, in trouble. And she's fortunate as she picks up the foul deep in the corner.
And even that coming out of the cage, Vilka, what I love about that is she still acts as if she's a field player. She keeps her chest up, she keeps her head up, and is able to make the correct pass.
Usually a good pass to Urbanchika for the clear, but this time she's bottled up by too many Finns. Inka Ojaska put the ball on the ground, and the pickup here, Rusa Karlström. Karlström is back after taking a knock yesterday. And Tiina Hanonen with the Finns spreading the field better. And they'll deal it back to the defense to Pertola. Along for Esther Laiho. Pertola. And the Finns with a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Can they solve this?
This is a great job by Latvia, and they're just going to continue to fight for this ball. And look at this situation that we might have set up here. One-on-one with the goalie, or excuse me, one-on-none with the goalie potentially.
Yeah, they turn over Finland. And before the restarts, up ahead is Matijevica. Laipina, she'll get it there. Matijevica chased by Pertola, and a good job of at least veering her off. Riley coming up with a save. Riley, though, in front, had to recover, and it's put in. Well, on the second effort, there it's put in by Nicole Petroviskis. 4-1.
Riley is really keeping the finish in this game. That is now the third save I've seen her make where she has to come out almost to the inside part of the crease to decrease the angle of the shot because the Latvians are just that far in on the crease. That's a big step to take for a goalie. I know it doesn't look like a big step, but it's a really big step to take for a goalie.
A long step was taken by Nicole Petroviskis. That's her first goal for the Latvians. Current head coach of Maine South High School, I believe outside of Barrington, Illinois, and Team 1 Lacrosse Club. 28 years old. Had the intentions of working as a marine biologist. She's a science teacher. I believe she graduated with a degree in marine biology. And she contributes to the growth of Latvian women's lacrosse. 4-1. Latvia with another possession. Petroviskis still on the field.
I think if anybody can be a science teacher for kids, they get an A+ in my book.
Did you try to become a science teacher?
No.
Druzhaka off the fake. Druzhaka weaves through. And that is what she has done to terrorize opponents throughout this tournament. 5-1. Another dash to the cage.
One of the things that I love about Druzhaka, which makes her a next level player for me, she's like a Peters and she's like a Whittle. When they make their move, they keep moving forward. A lot of times you see the attackers make a move and then stop to see what the defender is going to do. She makes her move, and she actually had to dodge 2 defenders on that drive, and she dodged them so well, but it's her constant movement forward that actually allows her to beat those defenders. Great job.
Valeria has been playing 7 years. Final minute, or I should say into the first few minutes of the second quarter, as Draw control picked up by Yeva Opolska. Petroviskis again. The Latvians controlling possession. And a foul as Tina Halonen collapses down on her. And that's now 5 different goal scorers for the Latvians. And that's another good sign. The Latvians out of Group B. Petroviskis and denied high. She tried to shoot over Riley. She gets it back. And the feed across will be handled by Osei.
Riley is doing so much for her defense right now. And this is one of those cases where you wonder, can she continue to do that?
Liapina, Latvia 2-2 through the group stage. Pass to the crease, and that was a good idea, but it could not be connected as Koryonoka was the cutter.
And the Finnish were in a zone in that particular defense, and their slidings looked great. It'd be interesting to see how long they stay in this zone, because I think that can do well against this Latvian offense.
Yeah, the zone emphasizes, Stephanie, good passing, and that'll challenge the Latvians passing the ball instead of dodging through everybody. Transition for the Finns. Picking up the foul. Finland with defender Auti Savonen. The Latvians just one little lapse against Norway 4 days ago from being 3-1. They lost handily to the Netherlands, a very deep team. But they lost 9-7 to Norway, and Norway was just excellent in so many ways fundamentally. And the Latvians were not able to string enough passes together. Also 4 charges taken by Latvia in that game, by far the highest total any single team has. So right there, that in addition to some failed clears.
I mean, possession loss of possession on a charge, from a coaching standpoint, that's a controllable.
Ala Krakola, she controls and then finishes with a little bit of a jump shot. 11 goals in the tournament for Ane Ala Krakola, 5-2.
I think the Finnish need to get Ala Krakova going, and you know, you can say that, and what does that mean? But for her, I don't think she's actually possessed the ball maybe one other time this entire game. And for an attacker like that, getting the ball in your stick, we saw a lot yesterday, teams getting the ball around. We actually had 2 games where one team almost didn't possess the ball for an entire quarter. And then all of a sudden their offense has the ball and they're going to shoot, and they're wondering why they don't, you know, why the defense has come up with it. Sometimes you need to take the time. You may have the fast break, but feeling the ball in your stick from an offensive standpoint is a big deal.
Yeah, Steph, you speak to maybe the difficulties. Is it the difficulty of scoring on your very first touch or finishing a shot on that very first touch?
You know, there's a lot of players out there that, and we just think, okay, she missed the shot. There are certain players out there that just need to take the first shot. There are certain players out there that just need, as a defender, they need to give that first bump to sort of switch their focus into the game. And I know that sounds weird, but if you think about some of the best athletes in the world, it's almost the first mistake that they make triggers the rest of their play. And I would go as far as say that some athletes are so used to things like that, they might even purposely make mistakes so they can get in that frame of mind.
Inka Olaska could not catch up to the end of that pass, but she's fouled and will be in a wide angle against Liga Vilka. Inka had the first goal of the game, and she has an opportunity to pass. She has a wide open Sofia Tatanen. Goes to Tatanen, and then Tatanen used the right-hand shot. She gets back up, too, in the chase. Latvia was under the impression that they had it. Good hustle by Kalnina, but just ahead of her in position was Finland. And Alla Krokola has not been able to get herself to the 8-meter these last couple of games either to try to get her game going. Ulaska off the split, then the roll. Good shot, and just coming out a bit, Vilka at the top of her crease made the angle different. Good move and patience. Inka Ulaska, one of the building blocks for Finland.
And that's that shot off of that back foot. It's not necessarily the shot that I would prefer attackers to take, but it's very hard for goalies to read.
Low shot for Markkanen. And Finland, this is the best stretch of their morning today. They're within 5-2 of Latvia. Sofia Tatanen. Druziaka defending as Druziaka forces her back.
It looks like Latvia might press out a little bit here.
They'll deal it back behind here for Karlstrom. And then Karlstrom double teamed high with the stick cross check was Druziaka. Karlstrom, a lefty, have a chance to get a good look. Looks like Rusa is okay following yesterday's injury that had her leave the field against the Czech Republic. Boy, the Czechs looked super. Pass to the crease, carries through. And this is a ground ball collected by Kristina Bridinja, who missed the last game for Latvia. I'm happy to have her back.
You know, Latvia is getting this quick clear, and I'm seeing that the Finnish defenders behind the restraining line are actually settled back. They may not want to pressure high. I'm wondering if that is because they don't want to have a fast break goal scored on them. They'll rather take their chances in their settled defense. And I think that's probably a really good idea, especially with the speed that we've already seen by Latvia. It's just a matter of, can they hold Latvia in their settled defense?
2 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Baltmane, final 2 minutes of the opening half. First game of 6. Knockout round has begun. The winner gets a day off tomorrow to return to play on Wednesday. They will remark Baltmane even for a better spot at the top of the 8-meter.
And look how much of her right side is open.
Baltmane. And the bouncer beats Riley. Laura Baltmane. 6-2 Latvia.
And if I'm correct, I would say that the 6 Latvian goals that have been scored, 4 to 5 of them have been low. We've seen Riley take away the high shot for Latvia.
Baltmane has been playing since 2011, going back to small breaks in between.
1 minute remaining in the second quarter.
She finishes off free position, the first one of that variety for Latvia in the final minutes. Self-draw, Hanunen, as she chases and is able to grab, or rather see Latvia pick it up with Ose, and a chance to get another. Tabora, 30 seconds. Yeva Polska, another big, strong attacker. In front, she feeds, and Liapina couldn't finish. Riley is able to dig this ground ball out. And Jennifer Riley's pass here, this is going to go out of bounds for a chance for a restart for Latvia. That could be a devastating goal to Finland. Liapina. That's it. 6-2 Latvia. After Finland got the first one, the Latvians over the Finns at the half. We'll be back in 15 minutes or so to bring you quarter number 3. You're watching the 2019 Women's European Lacrosse Championship. The knockout round is underway. 6-2 as we start the third quarter. Latvia leading Finland. 6 different goal scores for Latvia. Draw control. Tiina Paninen chased from behind and Druziaka. However, the bump following the check by Druziaka is probably what causes the foul. The check was clean.
100% agree. And if you notice the chase, Druziaka stays with the chase. And I think this is where that next level lacrosse comes. How many players would have potentially given up on that chase, and she doesn't?
Tiina Paninen. Liga Vilka remains in cage for Latvia to open up the second half. And Paninen fires, and Vilka, it kind of trickled through her stick. Paninen makes it 6-3.
That's a good finish by Paninen, but I've said this before. When you have a somewhat good hash, and that was a good one because it's inside the 11 meter, and there's nobody on your dominant hand side, I think that you can increase your chances of scoring just by driving in.
Tiina Paninen gets one quickly for the Finns. The loser of this game will take on Sweden tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The winner gets a day off. Paninen gets her 5th goal of this tournament. That's second only to Alla Krakola. Druziaka. As Druziaka had her flow stopped, and the battle for the ground ball. It'll be a foul against Pertola of Finland. Now Druziaka may have some options inside the crease. Elina Tabura. And instead they'll play it outside for Opolska. So for Finland and coach Sinikka Iis, energy has been something. Certainly fundamentals. They're within 6-3, so they found a way to hang around. What do you think her message was at the half?
You know, possession has been something that Finland hasn't had a lot of this game. They've played a lot of games defensively. So I'm hoping that her message is similar to possession. And we talked about at halftime the game plan of some of these coaches as we discussed other games, but what is their game plan? What does Finland want to get out of this game? And I think it's some solid possessions offensively.
Riley made a nice save on Opolska, but then Haninen could not complete the pass. And Finland, there's a missed chance at a possession after getting a big save. Druziaka. Opolska turns back. Well, Finland has got back in transition. They've been able to limit Latvia's relentless dodging to cage. Urbanchika is forced back. Here comes Opolska. That's in and out of her stick. And she'll recover behind Riley.
And Latvia is just moving the ball so well. They are switching the field in somewhat of a triangle fashion, which is hard because that's making Latvia's defense have to work even harder. And I think Latvia is just sick of playing defense, and their coaching staff wants them to control the ball on offense. And unfortunately, Latvia is making them pay for it in their ride.
Another caused turnover. Rachel Lazda stepping into Alla Krakola. And the Latvians the overwhelming amount of possession time, but yet their lead is just 6-3. And I would imagine that Coach Gretchen Lazda is going to remind them of their letdown. They were playing beautifully through 2.5 quarters 2 nights ago before Switzerland played with remarkable energy that only the Swiss can late in games that they have shown. The Swiss will be taking on Spain next before Switzerland had tied the game up. Actually, I believe they took a brief lead at 8-8. and then forced the game into overtime, and the Swiss even had the ball at the start of overtime, and the Latvians were able to pull it out courtesy of Druzjaka's overtime dodge.
You know, that can come into play later in this tournament.
Oh, that's Lasda. That one bounced up and perhaps a little bit off the stick of Riley. So free position finish for Rachel Lasda, and Latvia leads by 4 again.
One of the things that I think may play out later on in this event is a team like Finland, having played so much defense throughout this tournament, that's what they're used to doing. So then you think about the draw control. Are they going to attack it, or are they going to settle just to play defense? Where does their focus go to? And then you look at the teams that have an even spread between how much they've played defense and how much they've played offense, like a Wales or an England, and it's almost like their players might be a bit more fresh.
It's an exhausting tournament that will conclude on Thursday night with a gold medal game. Teams that persevere mentally could have an edge. It's unlike any other tournament that these young women are used to. Only at the World Championship or the European Championship is there a tournament that is this extended. You may play weekend tournaments, maybe 3 or 4 games in a weekend and various events, which can be exhausting, but that is not in the same kind of heat that this is. Now, that might be in the cold, which also can have an effect, but every team has discussed and strategized around how to deal with the heat best. And this is a shot. Tina Pannanen. It's off cage. The collapsing defense of Latvia made the play. And then defensively, Ose playing her best game of this tournament for Latvia. Vilka pressured by Martin.
I think this is Vilka's experience. You know, this is now the second time we've seen her come out and help her teammates on the field to be that extra field player, and she's just showed patience and experience.
Urbanchika with a pass and a bouncer that's tucked inside the crossbar. Just terrific shooting. And Estere Urbanchika has her second. And
Urbanchika seems to be this, I believe it was her first goal where she bounced the ball and it bounced just under top of the crossbar. Same with this finish, and I think they now realize, hopefully with halftime, how to get this ball past Riley. Riley is making almost every save high.
And she's matched sticks, and meanwhile, Valeria Druzjaka, the stats don't show it on the computer, on the screen, but I believe she's had at least an assist during this tournament, but she has 2 here. So a development there for Latvia. Hananen, and she's able to cover and scoop there. And Tina Hananen has been fun to watch in this tournament. Still playing basketball in the 2nd division in Finland over the winter time before she picks up a lacrosse stick following the basketball season, goes right into lacrosse and gets ready for that. So Urbanchika makes it 8-3. This is the largest lead now for Latvia.
And this is the time when Latvia wants to show their growth. This is the time when the Swiss started their comeback. So Coach Lasda is going to be very aware of what Latvia does at the end of this 3rd quarter going into the 4th quarter and what their play is like.
Petroviskis, after the long clear, following the save by Vilka. It was an easy stop. And Steffi, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. I know you don't want to be reminded. This here's Urbanchika for a second. Well, now she has another bouncer. And Latvia has certainly had a wonderful shooting percentage recently, 9-3. And that's another assisted goal. 3 for Urbanchika. Timeout Finland. A 6-goal lead for the Latvians midway through the third quarter. We're back with the end of the third from the Women's European Lacrosse Championship in Netanya, Israel. Midway through the third quarter, Sinikka Ias, head coach of Finland, calling the timeout. Urbanchika. And one of the Latvian players stepped across the restraining line. So here was Olaska. And Inka Olaska across for Markkinen. So for the Finns, we'll see if they can gather some energy together. They've played so much defense. They give a run on the offensive end again for Tina Hananen. Pass to the crease. Vilko, though, read the pass and outlets. And now Sparks transition for the Latvians.
I mean, Vilka in cage, it's almost like she's being her and her sister all at the same time. That read for the interception, we haven't seen blatant interception. This is maybe the second goalie interception outside of the crease.
Yeah, I think the other one, off the top of my head, I think it was Delaney Friel on that goal line extended adjacent that she made an interception. At the very highest levels of women's lacrosse, you'll notice that on occasion. So worth pointing out when you see it here. Rebecca Korolyanoka, free position. She's already scored once. The Latvians have shot a great percentage in the second quarter and into the third.
And again, she has so much space to her right.
Korolyanoka will take it in. Riley challenged the shot. The pickup from Perakula. And Purakula, though, throws it into traffic. Tatanen will look to chase. New goalie in there. Actually out of that timeout for Finland, it's Hanna Rasala. She started 2 games, only played goalie 3 years. But she plays like she's had 2 or 3 cups of coffee consistently. She loves to be active and plays with full of energy. A different kind of Kina Odegaard of Norway, who plays maybe with a closed intensity. Rasala, she plays with a jumping up and down intensity.
And again, we've talked about game plan. Maybe that's the Finnish game plan. The coach recognizes that Finland needs a spark, and you have an automatic spark plug in your backup goalkeeper.
Alla Krakola, her first free position. And Finland has needed more of these. And Ane fires, and that's off of the gloves of Vilka. As it pops out, Ulaska was in position, and she got the better of the position on the Latvian defender.
Vilka is playing out of her mind right now for Latvia. That step with her hands and taking the save off of her glove.
Alla Krakola looks for the rollback. Not yet comfortable with the left hand. One of their lefties, Parakule, and then she'll fire. And a good redodge, but the location off.
I like that redodge, in and out. That's the accordion effect of a defense. If you can get them to go in and out. The attack and then re-attack.
And a foul going the other way. It's going to belong here to Finland.
She's got it.
So the Finns with Markin into transition. Still early third quarter at 9-3 is the score. Latvians led 6-2 at the half. Petroviskas, as she tried to turn the corner. And they will put Nicole outside goal line extended.
She's really come on strong this game.
This is the most she has played.
A lot of ball handling in their offense for them today.
A one-time synchronized skater. You know what that is, Steffi, right? Growing
I
up.
sure do.
Growing up in Illinois before attending the University of Minnesota. And one of the more fascinating things, first of all, tremendous job by Gretchen Lazda, Tucker Hollander, Rachel Lazar for putting together player bios among the best that coaches and programs have put together here. Final minutes. Here's Druziaka shooting, and that's off cage. That may have hit the post, but Nicole Petroviskas has actually been bitten by a shark during her time working as a marine biologist. I mean, if that doesn't make you a tough attacker or toughen you up, I'm not sure what is.
Exactly. That just takes your, I think it takes your mental toughness to a whole nother level, and probably your physical toughness as well, what you can withstand.
And here you were yesterday worried about a scorpion somewhere, you know, off the field. And Nicole Petroviskas, she can't one-up you. She can 3, 4, 5 times up you.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. Yes, we did have a scorpion on the field here yesterday in Netanya.
Oh, and a nice bouncing shot. And again, Latvia's shooting has been outstanding. They get the goal, and that looks like it was Laura Liapina. Or check that, let me see the last. And that's Rebecca Korianoka that gets her second. That's handed the stick back, so it's 10-3.
You know, a lot of things I think are falling into place for Latvia right now. They're getting into their groove, and we talked about that with some teams. Wales got into their groove in the third game of the event. England probably has always been in their groove. But a team like Latvia, even to get into their groove now in their 5th game, with one more to go, if not 2, this is production for Latvia. This is growing.
They have 4 goals that have been assisted. They lead Finland 10-3. The Latvians, 15 minutes of game time away from getting a day off on Tuesday into the next round. We're back for the 4th quarter to Netanya in a moment. Start of the fourth quarter, Valeria Druziaka able to reach up to the sky and grab the draw control and then recover the next ball. 10-3 Latvia over Finland. Finland, should the score hold up, they would go into a game where they would play the loser between the next game, Switzerland and Spain. That's coming up at 1 o'clock local time. New goalie on the other end. And we'll tell you more about Linda Nutere next trip down. For Latvia, Hanna Rasala remains in cage for the fourth quarter. She came on midway through the third for the Finns. Tabora cuts it across, and that one clanged off the pipe. And she tried to tuck it high, and Markkinen will one-hand the ground ball and push for the Finns.
Markkinen has said this in the second quarter. Markkinen's energy output for the Finns has been probably a large part of their struggle. I think the heat has probably affected her. She's got tape and braces on both knees. And now, as they possess the ball on their offensive end, you've got a Latvian defense that's pressed out on them. Not sure that they expected this coming into the fourth quarter, this much pressure.
Markkinen will get the quick restart, then loses it. And just some tired legs out there for Finland. Ahead comes Cora Janoka. She's got her first 2 goals of these European Championships today. Petra Viskas has added her first. And a check there, and the whistle against Esther Laiho. So the Latvians in control. What a luxury it'll be to have that day off. Meanwhile, as we spoke to Georgie Hurt of Spain yesterday, and the only schedule, I think maybe the most interesting scheduling quirk is that it appears that Spain is lined up to play 7 days in a row with their day off early. As sweeping across, Matija Vicha. This loose ball, Koroniuka, and she could not squeeze through Ulaska, who comes up with the check and then the takeaway, but 7 in a row. That is something else, and we'll be watching them into games 6 and 7 as we get to Wednesday and Thursday.
And I think one of the things that Georgie said was that all of their games have been played at the 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 5 o'clock time slot.
In the daytime.
She said, we know we're Spain, but come on.
Yeah, they're still humans trying to adjust to the heat consistently.
I think they'll be the only team that has played 7 in a row.
They have to be. We would have to look back, but that seems 95% correct.
Yeah.
Liapina. Matija as she turns the corner and came around. First goal for Eugenia Matija, 11-3.
And Matija is their crease girl. She is the person that builds her office around the crease. And interestingly enough, she curls a little extra, she takes a little bit extra time in front of the crease, knowing most likely that the Finnish goalie is going to step out, and then she places the ball around her. That's a very good shot on cage.
She's played through the Zurich Lions team from Switzerland a couple times. The Swiss looking on for this one. A police officer in Riga, and plays for the Riga Griffins as one of the club teams that Latvia has. So it's 11-3. Early in the fourth quarter, Baltmane collects. Tabora. Petroviskas picks up shooting space.
I think this is the first game I've seen maybe only 2 or 3 shooting space calls, where we're normally in the 10 to 15 range. So maybe the coaches have adjusted to something that the officials are really paying attention to for this particular event.
10 minutes remaining in the quarter. 10 minutes. 10 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Petroviscus off the fake, and then Rosala made the save, I think, with her legs. Rosala can play an ice hockey style. Matievica again, and the shot was checked by Hananen. And Ulaska wins the race to the end line. Rosala has some height, and she's played basically goalie in every sport, so this role fits her personality, and we'll see if Finland can qualify for the World Championships, what Hana will look like after just 2 more years of experience. Is down the middle for Paninen. Pick up Alla Krakola.
I think that's a special person who wants to be the goalie in every single sport that they play. They want to be that last line. And although I haven't had a chance to talk to her, I can only imagine her personality is very similar to embodying what it is that means. And kudos to her for that. That's for somebody like me that's a field player, that's scary.
And how significant it is for these developing countries to find goalies, to have them in the pipeline. Of course, you need all players, but Alla Krakola, and a nice step through, but then it was checked out of her stick, and Urbanchika has it. Czech Republic right now is in an area where they have 2 goalies, but then the next goalie of the national team is just 15. And beyond that, they're searching. So you're looking at 3 goalies in the country, and that's going to be part of their next development, or high on the to-do list. They need to get some younger players to want to do the position, particularly with their 2 goalies, Anna and Katarzyna, still very much playing, at a chance to tutor them.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that 3 goalies in a country, that
A lot of things can happen, and all of a sudden you get thin with depth very quickly. On the move, Baltmane! Face dodge through a couple of defenders, 12-3 in Latvia.
Yeah, you talk about the thinning aspect, talk about the age. Although I don't think the Czech Republic has an age issue with their field players, but the thinning aspect becomes an interesting conversation.
Yep, you just never know, and you take depth for granted. Water break midway through the 4th. We'll step away. It's now 12-3 Latvia, en route to a day off earned for tomorrow. 12-3 midway through the fourth quarter as Latvia's pulled away. They've scored the last 6. Yevo Polska, the latest draw control. So with this one well in hand for the Latvians, they get the day off, and then at 1 o'clock they'll play the loser of today's Germany-Austria game, which, by the way, that one popped out at me, Steffi, as a very interesting one because Austria's 3-1. Here's Liapina, and Liapina makes it 13-3. Laura is able to shoot from high to low. She has 2. But Austria's lone loss is the Czech Republic, 18-8. After they were blitzed 6-0, they played them fairly even. Germany 0-5 out of Group A. That could be a game, my guess, could be the best one of the day.
I think I might agree with you. I think Meyer becomes that intangible person for Austria. What type of day does Health have for Germany? That's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited to see how both of those teams come out.
Bianca Bly, I'd say, would have something to say for who's been the best goalie in terms of performance. Oh, a nice pass from behind. Polska finds the cutting. Liapina, and Latvia with a backdoor cut, 14-3.
Polska has been a beast on the draw for Latvia today. She has quietly collected probably somewhat of 50% of the draws for Latvia. Just easy self-draws to herself.
14-3.
Yeah, I think Bly for Austria is going to make a name for herself potentially in this Germany game. And I think Germany, they're one of those teams that's in the situation where they have the dual goalie.
Yeah, they've gone back and forth. Coach Shelby Davis has gone more recently to Louisa Beck, who's played very well. But Britta Goldenstein started out the tournament. She's just been trying to look for someone to be consistent and someone to maybe provide them with a spark. A ground ball overrun by Jane Jaunjekare, who comes in for Latvia defensively here in the fourth quarter. Alakokola the pickup. And defensively, that's Ruperte. And Druziaka, again, great hustle, even in a 14-3 game, just saves possession and just continues it.
I will say this is probably Latvia's most complete game of the tournament so far.
Yeah, Druziaka, stuffed inside by Rosala. Liapina was looking for the foul. She had stopped, and then she gets it outside to Rebecca Korolyanoka. 15-3, and a game Rebecca will never forget. 3 goals in a knockout round game.
Yeah, Latvia is just, it's almost like their train was picking up steam, and now they're really working this. I'm sure that Coach Lazda is very proud of how they've taken what happened to them in the end of the Swiss game and learned from that.
Rebecca is the second youngest member of the team. We haven't mentioned Linda Duterte yet. Finland just hasn't had the ball. But Rebecca is 18 years old. She's been playing the sport for 5 years. So perhaps the youngest person that is a native of Latvia and represents the future, along with the 16-year-old in goal, Nutere, who lives in the United States. Rebecca was a figure skater before that for 6 years, and now lacrosse has become her primary sport, along with shooting, air rifle.
Of course.
So, should air rifle shooters be good attackers?
Potentially.
I would
They
think
like
so.
to hit their mark.
I would think so. I would like my attackers to be good at air rifle.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That is really interesting.
Pannanen. So Linda Nuteri will get this fourth quarter. And she's played a good amount here. And there is Tina Pannanen able to extend the hands and tuck it around. The slide never got there on the backside, and it's 15-4.
That is a great pick on the crease, and that's something that Latvia that Finland can continue to go to offensively. Crease work
Minutes remaining in the quarter.
never goes old when it comes to what you can do on offense. You can always go back to doing something on the crease.
Pannanen with 2. So as Nuteri comes in to play out the rest of this one, 2 minutes to go. Nuteri, 15 saves coming in through 4 games. And mostly of playing a quarter or a half. Baltmane here for Chabura. The Latvians don't need to shoot. 15-4, this is the most goals they've scored in the game. They'll get to come back and watch Germany and Austria play quite a battle. I would imagine that game is going to be played at a super intensity.
Yes.
The veterans of Austria, 2 founding mothers of the team in Mikula and Bierbacher Voss, and what an achievement that could be for the Austrians to come up with a victory over the Germans.
You know, we've talked a lot about Kashorik from Germany. Their past 2 games has come on strong.
Baltmane, 16-4, Latvia.
I have a feeling that she could draw Meyer from Austria, and that could be a really interesting matchup. Both very offensive-minded midfielders. Ooh, that's going to be a fun game.
And the midfield from Austria has been very good. Daniela Zlubel is at a good tournament. Nela Meyer. The attack is very experienced in terms of moving the ball. This one out of reach of Urbanchika. They call the elbow against Markkinen. Explains the official. So we should be coming up on the final 30 seconds. So here's Urbanchika. Not even in this setting does she get some time off. She just enjoys running. Opolska. And the Latvians content with this final, 16-4. A tournament high in goals for the Latvians, and they get great balance up and down the lineup. Laura Baltmane with 3, Laura Liapina with 3, Rebecca Koryanovka with 3 as well. Among the leaders, Valeria Druziaka, a pair of assists to go along with just 1 goal, doing her usual work, and Estere Urbanchika with 2. Tina Pannanen led Finland with 2. Finland will now have to await the loser between Spain and Switzerland. That game will be played at 1 o'clock, or I should say actually Finland is locked into playing Sweden tomorrow, I beg your pardon. It'll be Finland and Sweden. Finland beat Sweden on the first day of the tournament 9-4. So that matchup is set. Latvia gets Tuesday off. They'll take on Germany, Austria loser, on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So until then, for Steffi Samaras, I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Coming up next, it'll be Spain and Switzerland at 1 o'clock local time from Netanya, Israel.